Nate and I left our house on Saturday, May 31st at 5:30 a.m. en route to the Best Western Plus Dockside Waterfront Inn in Mackinac City, Michigan. With a few stops along the way, we arrived at approximately 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
At the time we went, it was $4 to cross the Mackinac Bridge. So the next morning we woke up, had some breakfast at the hotel, and headed to our ferry.
To reach Mackinac Island, you need to take a ferry, fly, or take a private boat.
There are a couple ferry companies that will take you to the island, and we chose Shepler's Ferry. Shepler's was $38 per person and takes between 15 to 25 minutes to get to the island.
We opted for one of the early morning departures that takes closer to 25 minutes because they take you under the Mackinac Bridge and explain some fun facts about the bridge itself.
The Mackinac Bridge, nicknamed Mighty Mac, is a suspension bridge that connects the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan.
At the time we created this video, Mighty Mac was the 5th longest suspension bridge in the world by total length and the longest in the Western Hemisphere. Construction began in 1954 and took over 3 years to complete. The bridge opened to traffic on November 1st, 1957.
It's made of 42,000 miles of wire, and the towers stand 554 feet above the water. The bridge is approximately 5 miles long with a suspension span of 8,614 feet.
Each year on Labor Day weekend, they hold a bridge walk where visitors can walk across the bridge. I think that would be a lot of fun. What do you think, Nate?
That would be pretty fun since they closed the whole bridge off.
The bridge is designed to handle high winds and temperature changes, and the deck can sway up to 35 feet in severe conditions.
If you look closely, the 2 inner lanes are made from steel grating, reducing wind resistance, as the outer 2 lanes are made of concrete. They also use sand instead of salt for winter maintenance to protect the bridge and the Great Lakes.
It was a little chilly on the ride over, so we had to wear our jackets. But once we docked at Mackinac Island, we were more than comfortable in just sweatshirts.
This was our first good view of the iconic Grand Hotel.
Here we are docked at Mackinac Island. The nice part about staying at the Grand was that we didn't have to worry about our suitcase or our cooler. We gave it to the folks in Mackinac City and they brought it all the way to our room.
Yes, that was nice. Once we got off the boat, we walked through this entrance looking for the Grand carriage to take us from the ferry to the hotel.
The carriage ride is $9 per person, and after waiting about 10 minutes with no carriage, we decided to just make the short 15-minute walk to the hotel. On our walk, we discovered the Grand Hotel's secret garden. There are a couple of benches in the secret garden where you can just sit and enjoy. Aside from the secret garden, there were tulips all over the property in full bloom. It was so pretty.
Now, let's talk about the Grand Hotel for a moment. It is expensive, and we went back and forth on if we wanted to stay the night or not. Ultimately, we decided to stay so we didn't have any regrets in the future.
Grand Hotel was opened on July 10th of 1887. Each of the 388 guest rooms is uniquely decorated. Some features about the hotel are: it has the world's longest porch, which stretches 660 feet. It also has been the location of a couple of movies such as This Time for Keeps and Somewhere in Time. Several U.S. presidents have also visited the Grand Hotel, including Biden, Clinton, Bush, although I'm not sure which one, Ford, Kennedy, and Truman. We were also told that tipping is not allowed at the Grand Hotel.
Another fun fact is Grand Hotel's strict dress code. After 6:30 p.m., all gentlemen must be in dress pants, coat, and tie. Ladies must be dressed in dresses or dress pants and jackets. Denim, shorts, or other athletic wear are strictly prohibited for both the ladies and the gentlemen.
Our next order of business was to go get checked into our room.
Surprisingly, our room was ready early, so we were lucky enough to go put our backpack away before we went on our bike ride around the island. Here are just a few pics of what our room looked like.
We then went down this long staircase where we rented bikes at the Woodlands Activity Center. As part of our room package, we had a $50 credit for things such as renting a bike, miniature golf, and other activities on the property. There is a 2-hour minimum to rent a bike at Woodlands.
Biking around Mackinac Island is a popular activity, with the 8.2-mile perimeter road, M185, being the only state highway in the U.S. where cars are banned. It takes about an hour to bike non-stop.
Our first stop was a small cave called Devil's Kitchen. It's made up of 2 hollows in a rocky cliff, one directly on top of the other. It's said the cave's appearance is comparable to that of a human face with an open mouth. I have a pretty good imagination, but I'm not sure I see it.
Local stories say the Native Americans considered the cave to be inhabited by bad spirits. Allegedly, the spirits were cannibals who would capture and eat victims who ventured too close to the location. To this day, the cave is blackened with soot, allegedly from the evil spirits cooking fires, hence the name Devil's Kitchen.
Back on our bikes, it was time to head towards British Landing. In a nutshell, during the night of July 16th, 17th, 1812, a British force landed near Fort Mackinac. The British force included regulars, voyagers, and Native American allies. The American commander, unaware of the war declaration, surrendered Fort Mackinac without a fight.
At British Landing, there is a little snack shop called Cannonball Oasis. They are known for their fried pickles. This guy is not having any of that, so we had mozzarella sticks.
We also just took some time to explore along the way. Horns up, Bison fans.
Our last biking stop was Arch Rock.
Arch Rock is a natural limestone arch. It's 50 feet wide and stands 146 feet above Lake Huron, appearing to hang in midair. The arch was formed after the glacial period, when high lake levels and wave action created openings in the rock.
There are 207 steps to climb to reach the top of Arch Rock from the Lakeshore Drive path.
Arch Rock is one of the most photographed spots on Mackinac Island. Legend has it that Native American folklore often portrays Arch Rock as a bridge to the afterlife. Also, early accounts described people walking across the arch. However, it is now illegal to do so.
After we returned our bikes, we met a couple that suggested we go to the Pink Pony for lunch. The restaurant is right on the water with a patio that extends over the Straits of Mackinac. It is the only place on Mackinac Island where you can enjoy live music twice a day, with musicians playing on the patio during the afternoon, which is what we enjoyed, and on the main stage at night. In 2023, the Pink Pony celebrated its 75th anniversary with special vintage drinks and merchandise.
After a quick taste test, both Nate and I ordered a Pigeon Hill IPA.
We also ordered the smoked whitefish dip, which is among one of the most popular menu items.
The whitefish dip was whitefish blended with cream cheese and garlic and served hot. It also came with pita chips. I enjoyed it, and Nate gave it a so-so rating.
The second appetizer we ordered was the honey apple brie flatbread.
This appetizer was an oven-baked flatbread and brie cheese. It was topped with sliced green apples, candied walnuts, and baby frisee drizzled with honey.
After our appetizers, it was so nice on the patio that we decided to split a famous island rum runner.
This was a specialty blend of premium rum and tropical juices. We added the Myers Dark Floater, and ooh-wee, was it delicious.
Unfortunately, we don't have any pictures, but once we returned from lunch, we took a dip in the Esther Williams swimming pool. The pool with the water slide was closed, but the private adults-only pool with the infinity edge overlooking Lake Huron was open. Despite the cool temperatures, the pool itself was 91 degrees, so we spent a good amount of time in there as well as the hot tub. Once we were done swimming, we returned to our room to get ourselves ready for our formal supper.
Our 8:30 supper reservation was included in the price of our room. There were 3 restaurants that we could choose to eat: the main dining room, the Jockey Club, and the Gatehouse. We chose to go to the Jockey Club as the menu was most appealing to us. Both Nate and I ordered the filet mignon with asparagus and a side of mashed potatoes. Speaking for myself, it was probably the best filet I have ever had.
We each ordered a drink during supper. Janet had a red wine, I had an old-fashioned. These drinks were not included in our dinner package, so we stopped at one each.
For dessert, I ordered a piece of chocolate cake. Look at the size. I probably only ate 1/3 of it.
And I ordered the Grand Pecan Ball. This is a signature dessert enjoyed by many, with over 60,000 consumed each season. This thing was delicious. I would eat it over and over again.
Like I mentioned earlier in this video, our meals were included with our room package, and thank goodness, because look at this total. That was the end of our night. I think the only regret that we both have is that we didn't go up to the cupola bar to have a drink before bed. But it had been a long day, and I think we had both had enough. All in all, it was a great day. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching.